3, 2, 1. And
you are now live. Okay, so what should I write in here? Just Q&A, live, Q.
What's going on, guys? We just started the podcast.
And A. Hey, what's up? What's up, Pack? I didn't do my long what's. I'm trying to do something here on the live here. I'm getting questions. If you guys... Oh, no, I was going to say, get on live right now.
Yeah.
But you're watching this then recorded live.
Yeah.
Ask me anything. Okay. Boom. Post. Pin that shit. Okay. And then, am I going to pin
Questions?
the questions here or just leave it?
No, I would just leave it. I think what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to screenshot them and send it to my iPad here.
Okay.
All right, so this is episode 32.
Really quick, are they hearing me on this through the?
No, they should be able to hear you. Can you guys on the Instagram?
So let me
Live
know if you guys can hear me on this.
just confirm for that,
Just
please.
so I can make sure you guys are hearing all this shit. Okay, what's up, everybody? So feel free, ask away. We're doing the live podcast right now, and I wanted to do a Q&A one today of just you guys because people are always asking me to do these Q&As. So let's just start whenever you guys want to. Just start pounding it. What's up, everyone? What's up?
Everybody
awesome
hears
to see
you
everybody
fine.
coming in. Everyone can hear us. It's good, loud and clear. Excellent. Perfect. All right, so start asking some questions too. Let's get these going.
Yeah.
Hope everyone's having thank you. Nice fresh cut I got over the weekend. I had to wait a while for I got some things going on here. Yeah, I got a nice little fade going on there, you know. I had to find a new place up here that I have to go to and I can't go in Hoboken, which is a little weird one. Back in the day I used to drive from Hoboken 50 minutes back to where I grew up, and I would get my haircut there every day and drive back. Isn't it nuts? Okay.
That's crazy.
Let's see. What are the questions here?
What's up, Devin?
Okay.
How do you cope with being so handsome, Steve?
Come on, Blake. You know the deal with that shit.
Jesus.
Let's see. We're going to put that back on you, pal. Let's see. Okay. So let's just start. I'm just going to go through these as they come. I'm just going to try to hammer these out as quick as we can, but also I got to give you guys detail and some context too. So the first one here is Empire K9 1. What the hell happened here? Oh yeah. How do you deal with food aggression? Listen, as always, it depends on the dog. So a lot of times food aggression comes from a dog who's been able to claim resources and they're in an insecure. A lot of times it comes from insecurity. Not always, but a lot of times it comes from insecurity. So when I get dogs here that I'm going to be doing food aggression stuff with, or they're resource guarding, whatever it is, I really don't deal with that shit in the beginning. I do mostly relationship building, get the dog into the zone, understanding what we're doing here at the ranch with the other dogs, putting me on dog park. It's a lot of relationship building, working one-on-one. And then maybe like a week in, then I'll actually start dealing with that stuff. In the beginning, if it's a dog who's got food issues, resource guarding stuff, I'm going to definitely set them up for mealtime. So meaning the first day is gonna be a lot of relationship building stuff, and then train the dog prior to mealtime with vigorous exercise. And then from that point, I would just do a lot of the preparation part of feeding, which would be I would have the dog set up somewhere with a leash on, you know, and then I would just wait for the dog to be totally calm. I would wait a long time. That first one, I'm going to wait a long, long time because I'm going to let him. I want to see him. I want to see what happens. What is it like a crazy excitement thing? Is it they start getting tense about it? Is it start, you know, is the growling start right away? What happens here? That's what I want to see. But for the most part, then I'll wait till that dog calms all the way down. And then I'll present them food and just let them have it for real in the beginning. Just letting them understand that I don't go right to it of challenging a dog for food when... And this is what I think a lot of people think you're supposed to do. I see it a lot with the people who get the puppies. They start like challenging the dog for food right away. And the puppy's like, why are you... But they're coming with like tension and creating this like conflict right from the beginning, which is not to me the best way to do that. To me, I'm focused way more on the beginning front end of teaching the dog calm about getting the food. Then actions like if it's a puppy, I'm going to put the food there. And then while he's eating, I'm going to come over and bring more food. So then the action of the bowl is over here. And the human coming to you means more food's going to be presented, as opposed to the human is coming to you to now challenge you for the food and try to and you know, look, so some people come like with that shit where they're not doing all the leadership things throughout the day, but then at night, or they're trying to come and challenge the dog for food. So the dog's confused of like, wait, you're a follower and you're challenging me for this food, so I'm going to defend my food. And then a lot of people are creating this thing, you know. So hopefully that made sense. That's what I do. I really don't deal with that shit from the beginning. I mean, I deal with it if it presents itself in the moment, but for the most part, I'm just doing relationship building, getting the dog into a good state, trying to create a calm follower, getting them into the routine, crate training. And then, you know, I may actually find something like a toy that I can teach them an out, or something they're not as serious about, and teach them a way to move away from that object first. So then when we go to the food over here, they have some context of what I want when I'm moving in and asking them for some distance. So hopefully that made sense. When is good to get a nervous dog neutered? That's interesting. That's to me, if possible, try to deal with the nervousness first and get the dog more confident, and then do the neuter. That's what I recommend. That's my recommendation a lot of times is to do, if you're going to be doing work and some training and some psychology stuff and all that, I would recommend doing it if possible prior to the neutering, and then set up the neutering day. The dog is drained the day before up to that point, so they're fulfilled and relaxed as they're going to get the neuter and be put under to do that. So that's what I would recommend. But yeah, like, look, the literature on all that and the science is conflicted. There's no really set way. Some people are having they're asking the dogs to wait for a long time due to genetics and due to growth and all that kind of stuff. Others are recommending to do it sooner so the dog doesn't experience those hormones. So, you know, it's a tough one. It's really a to each his own type thing. For you guys, with me, I'm waiting a little bit with Nico to do that, because he happens to be the breed, the German Shepherd, which is one of the most prone to having issues for early neutering and all that kind of thing. So I'm giving him some time. The thing about Nico, which is interesting, is he's got so some dogs, the testicles, not all that they don't descend, or one descends, right? Nico has both that didn't descend, which is very interesting, right? So sometimes I break his balls and I tell him, dude, you got no balls. What do you want from me?
Literally break his balls.
Literally break his no balls.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one where I'm waiting, but I might have to do it sooner than I would actually want to, only because they're still inside. So I got to like take the time to be able to get those things out. So, or get them out earlier is what I should say. Did I say that the correct way? I don't even know. Okay. Next. What's else?
One of those
fucking things. Do you ever use prongs or just slip leash? I use all. Okay. So you guys see me most commonly using a slip leash because that's my preference of a tool for when I'm working with a dog. I don't give it to all the clients. Some dogs, believe it or not, we keep the dog in a harness. Some dogs, we keep them in a flat collar. Some dogs, we put them in a halty. Some we put in a figure eight. Some we put in slip lead. I think I said that already. And some we will put in a prong. To me, the prongs are more for compatibility issues, right? So you have a quiet. Sorry, guys. Just got to tell Nico he's not involved in this shit today. Yeah, to me, it's a compatibility. So to give you an example, when I'll use a prong collar, I had a client years ago who was in her late 60s, and her St. Bernard, or old St. Bernard, passed away, and she got another one, young female who's strong as all hell. And it was like, you know, she was a shorter lady and strong. What do you call it? St. Bernard. And I'm like, listen, this dog's going to get, and she had already injured herself twice by being dragged to the floor. So that's one where we gave him the prong collar, just because, not because like she needed that tool per se, but that tool made her, she said, Steve, I feel way more in control when I have the prong here. So I said, look, if that tool makes you feel better and you understand how to use it the proper way, then we can absolutely use that tool. See? So it really depends on the handler, on the situation, on the dog, on the compatibility, a lot of those things. But, you know, some dogs come in and they're numb to shit on the neck and they'll go to the figure eight. Some dogs come in a harness, and any pressure on the harness, they just immediately resist. So you get the people who dogs like walks this way. Sorry, I'm in the way. The dog walks this way, and the human's on the left side here walking. And then the dog is like literally like, I call them the 45-degree dogs. They're like turn this way, like pulling this. They're just, the whole time is just resistance against the human. So it's not very, very healthy. Nashville, Tennessee, checking in. It's amazing. Let's see, we got here. How can I get my dog to eat earlier? He likes to chow down at 10 p.m. Just remove food. Just tell him the food's not going to be there. I would put it down for a certain amount of time. Maybe like if the dog like looks at the food there and is like, "Yeah, fuck that food. I'm not interested in that." I would wait for him to walk away and disengage from it, and I would pick it up and put it away and let him skip that meal. You know, look, like it's a strategy. I'm not telling you to like starve your dog or anything like that, but it's a good one to look. Humans fast. It's very healthy to do correct fasting. I started picking up fasting about like 5 years ago. It's been a pretty cool thing to do for your body. You can look into fasting, but so it's not like it's gonna have some like horrible negative effect on the dog, but it would also help them in the next meal. They're gonna be hungry, and if they don't want it, what do they do at breakfast too? That's the other thing. Is it one meal a day? Is it 3 times a day? Like, but I would just not have a meat. I wouldn't present the food at those times. Or you could also look into potentially draining the dog more prior to create the hunger, so then he wants to eat right away, you know, or give him a little break and then eat right away.
Real quick, I'm sure people are gonna love this this episode. Getting right to the question.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hammer them out because I'm trying to do both ways and see what you guys like more. Do you like me just talking shit? Do you like me talking shit and answering questions? Do you like me just straight to the face answering questions like this? Hopefully, we'll see. We'll see what everybody likes. We'll do a little bit for everyone. How did you start your business? Holy shit, that's a great one. How much time do you guys have? But no, reality was I was. So my story goes from I was athlete in high school. I played 3 sports. I was pretty good at them. I played soccer, baseball, hockey. Loved hockey the most. Was better at baseball. Got recruited to play baseball. Played baseball in college. I was a pitcher. Played in college leagues. The whole deal. Was planning to go pro. Injury in my junior year. In the winter of my junior year. Sidetracked a lot of that shit, clearly. And all the pro teams were like, later, bro, injury, we don't need you no more. So that was it for me. And then that was a part of my life where I was like going down one path of certainty and then slapped in the face with uncertainty. Because you're planning for your life to go play Major League Baseball. And then instead now you're not doing that. So what are you going to do to make money, right? So then I started, you know, testing the waters. And that's what I recommend for you guys too, if you're young too. And I consider people in their 30s still young. 40s, 50s young too, by the way. But I started testing. So first I started working with my dad's friend who's a real estate developer. So I started learning about real estate and business and things like that. Then I worked for my father for quite some time. Ended up leaving there. And then I was trying to figure out what to do at that point. And what I actually did was I made a little list. Let me see if I can just grab this so I can show them what I did. Like here, I'm going to show you a little like good at, not good, and then it was what am I good at, and then it was like don't like.
Don't forget you have to write that backwards so that people can see
shit.
it.
No,
yeah, that would be figured out.
Right. So in here, you guys will see, if you guys can see it here. There on the top, it says, what am I good at? Not good at. What do I like and what do I don't like? So I was looking at things. Number one, this whole zone down here, I was like, fuck that. I'm not doing something I don't like. Right? So then I got to, these are things like, all right, so what do I like these things? I'm good at these things and I'm not good at these things. So this was one that I was like kind of in the middle, the dog thing. I really liked it, but I wasn't that good at it yet. But I was like, I can get good at this if I really study and work hard for it. So this to me is the most ideal zone to be in. But this one you can still do it because you can still learn. So hopefully that made sense for that. But yeah, then it became working hard, a lot of hustle. So it started with making flyers and just offering people. I'll walk your dog for $8. I'll do, walking out to people on the street. Talk about getting out of your comfort zone. Just asking people, I can help you, I can do this. So I just started by being patient, and I got a dog. I got one dog for $8, and I walked that dog 5 days a week, and people started seeing me. And if I saw people around, I would say, hey, if you ever need help, I can help you with your dog. And slowly but surely, I started to get some dogs, and it starts snowballing when you start giving a real good service. When someone's paying X amount of money and you're providing way more value, people get happy about that. That's like business 101, right? So whatever they pay, whether it's thousands they pay or they pay $1, the value should always be higher than what they're actually paying. So I started doing that a lot, and I started doing the pack walks in Hoboken. And then what happened with that was I had a lot of the dogs that were in my pack. And then these dogs would be on their own in the day, like not with me in the pack, and be with their owners. And these dogs would be like reacting at each other on the streets. Yet I would walk them together in a pack every freaking day. So the owners would have me come by and talk with them and help them with shit and understand things. They're like, oh, my trainer said that we should do XYZ, right? And I would say, don't do that. That's not what you should be doing. I don't know why they're telling you that. It doesn't make sense to me. I would recommend doing this. This is what I do with your dog, and it seems to be working. So that started happening. And then more and more the people they started pushing me. My clients started saying, you should do some more training stuff. So then I started doing the training stuff, and I did a lot of in-home consultations. I really enjoy it. I really enjoyed it and still enjoy it. Did the in-home consultations and was having a lot of success with that, but then noticed some of the dogs needed more time with me, right? I was like, this dog needs to spend time with me for a while. So that's when I started doing the board and train thing. And I started hearing these board and train places were doing, 2 weeks, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. You drop the dog off, they train the dog, and they give it back to you, and you go home, or you stay for an hour or two, and then you learn and you leave. To me, didn't make sense either, because I'm like, these humans need to be part of the process of the rehab with this dog. So when the dogs are here, we do a video call week 1, and then every week they're coming for sessions throughout. Because to me, it's so important that the owners understand the dog psychology, and they're immersed in this rehabilitation just as the dogs are for that. So I started doing the board and train. That started going really well. Then I started hiring people. So the first person I hired was what was it the first one was? Yeah, the first person I hired was someone from in the office to handle some of the phone calls and emails because I was overwhelmed as fuck.
In the office, quote unquote office.
Yeah, in the office, yeah.
Yeah.
Then I hired a dog walker, and then from then on, I just started like hiring people as the demand increased. Yeah, and then we were doing great in Hoboken. Building it up, and we went to get approvals to do a big dog center in Hoboken. It was going to be super costly. It took me a long time to get it. It wasn't easy. And so I finally get this stuff, and then I start looking at the numbers, and I'm like, okay, so it's going to cost me millions of dollars to build this big thing in Hoboken right now, and which I don't have at this moment. So what do I need to do? Let me see if I can go buy land, right? And I was actually in Puerto Rico. You were there. Yeah, it was Adam. Yep. Adam was there. We were visiting our friend Yoa from Palmoli PR. He was down there. Caesar came with us. We went after Hurricane Maria to do this big mission because everyone was, helping people, but no one was really helping the animals there. So we went to a bunch of the sanctuaries and rescues. We brought food. We brought money. We brought, just to inspire them to show that we're thinking of you guys too, the dogs, the people, everybody, right? But when I was there, I got to see one of the rescues. I don't know if you remember that rescue. It was an enormous rescue, and they had, or sanctuary or whatever, they had like 750 dogs off leash at this place, all over the place, right? Yeah. And just being there, it popped in my head. I was like, I need land, and I need it now. And we left that day, and I called Cassie from Puerto Rico. I said, start looking at places because we need to get land. It needs to be within 1 hour of New York City, and we need at least 5 acres of land. So she sent me a list the next day, as Cassie does, and the first house on it, there was like 6 houses on it. Properties, and I said schedule something for the first one I saw, which is this place, by the way. I was like, that is like exactly what's in my mind, but let me go look at the other ones. Nope, going back to the first one. So I told Cassie, set up an appointment at this place right away. For the day I come back, I want to get off the plane and go there. So we went there, went here, walked around this place. We showed up. Cassie said, oh my God, I fucking love it here. And I'm like, I know. And I had to lecture her and say, listen, when we go in there, don't say that because we're trying to buy this place. So they're going to charge us out the ass if they know that you, the wife, loves it, or the fiance at the time, right? So yeah, that was, that's how it kind of went down. And that's where we are right now. And then so then the biggest thing was the boarding and the camp stuff, right? The dog care side of things, right? There's millions of dog trainers out there, right? I shouldn't say, I'm assuming there's millions, but there's tons of dog trainers. Everyone wants to be the next, big dog trainer, which is awesome. I love that everybody's getting into this field, right? It's really, really good. We're going to be able to help a lot more people. But what I realized what wasn't happening as much was people getting into the care stuff. And I was like doing all this training stuff, all this psychology, all this rehabilitating dogs and helping people and getting them a different outlook. And then they're like, well, where am I going to send my dog? Where do I send my dog for boarding? Where do I send them for the day? Do you have any walking companies you recommend? And I was like, this is becoming a real big problem because the dog care industry doesn't really understand. It's like it's such a dramatic change from like going to a dog trainer to like the daycare. It's like of knowledge of the understanding of a dog and what to do. So I was like, we need to give these people a care option. And the ranch, I was like, let's do a camp. We'll build a big nature dog park. We'll build all these activities. I want to call them physical challenges and psychological challenges, right? All these things where the dogs can come and be challenged daily and what works best for the individual dog. Like almost like a college, right? Like everyone's coming to this college and it's an Ivy League school, right? And they all want to get better and grow and feel, but some might want to do business. Some might want to do accounting. Some may want to be into events. Some may want, whatever it is, but whoever's coming there can grow to a huge potential and maintain the state that the stuff that they've already learned, continue to learn, get better at, and we keep the party going. So that's what we've been really double, triple, quadrupling down on is anything basically anything we're making right now, we're reinvesting back into the business because I believe so damn much in this. And I'm also competitive thanks to the sports. And I become crazy about like wanting to do this and I will do it. Like there's nothing that I would say the biggest thing, how did I start my business? Don't forget about that. Like the level of uncertainty that you have to deal with as a business owner is pretty high. And when you start bringing employees on and all that, it's even higher. There's, things change every minute. Employees screw up. Clients screw up, legal screws up, accounting screws up. Things go like anything that can go wrong will go wrong for sure. So it's always problems, and it's making a priority list of what are the biggest problems, dealing with those problems first, and then going down the list. And then all of a sudden that list can change at any moment. Like the van broke down for the dogs to camp. Fuck, that goes to problem number 1. So we got to go get those dogs, get them here, get the van picked up, And we had a problem of space. Now we have the space, but that creates a new problem of funding it all, right? So it's always a situation where you solve one problem to create the next problem, but you want to have higher level good problems. Like we're having trouble keeping up with demand, good problem. Like that. Those are good problems to have and stuff. I see you looking at these.
Yeah, I'm just doing a little bit of reminiscing. You were talking about Puerto Rico.
Yep.
The Instagram Live won't be able to see this, but this is for podcasts. So if you guys wanted to watch what we're watching here, watch the podcast.
There's a video of us with Caesar in Puerto Rico that's happening over here. So you guys will see this on the podcast. But yeah, that's how I started the business, and it's nonstop, evolving, growing, maximizing every day, trying to figure out how to make this better, how to provide more content to you guys, more value to you, the community, and it's a mission. Caesar talks about it a lot. The mission that we're on to help dogs. By helping dogs, we're going to help people. So understanding dog psychology, the things of being calm, being confident, following through.
Crazy how much documentary style that looks like.
Yeah, no, it does.
It's really cool.
So that's how I started it. Yeah, and then it's never ending battle. I would say to controlling finances is super. Don't overexpand. But be ambitious and work hard, reinvest into your business, try to cut your costs, your expenses personally as much as you possibly can, and let those dollar bills you make work for you and to build up the business so you can make more, bring more. Look, this is the thing, right? Is sometimes it can sound like I get a little crazy about the business, money, but what I've realized over time is you can have the best goodwill charity mission in mind that you have, but it costs money to do what you want to do, to influence people, right? And to help. So we get to make some money so we can actually help. Because my dream is to be able to then go and put up sick ass like places like this that are actually sanctuaries for rescue dogs. And places like this all over for people can come and work their dogs, but work themselves too. Like they can go work out. They can go for a nature hike. They can practice being with other animals. They can, like a nature situation of like a place where people and dogs can go to rehabilitate from a tough week in the city, like coming out once a week and just breathing the fresh air as like a wellness program. First of all, I think it's 100% needed for dogs who live in a city environment. And I also think it's really needed for people who live in that environment too. We get stuck and like pulled into this human world of this rat race and tech and going fucking crazy nonstop. And then the dogs are like, can we just go in nature and just observe and just walk around and have a good time? And just want to keep life simple, But we're humans and we complicate the shit out of everything. Let's see what else we got here. I saw that one. Saw that. My dog. All right. So Deanna says my dog started getting very anxious and clinging to me when I am at my in-laws' house. Something must have triggered it for her to act that way, but not sure how to get her to calm again. Yeah, well, you can do a little thinking about it or reviewing and see what event could have happened there. And I would also be asking, how often does my dog clingy and around me when there wasn't some event that happened? And then I would just be telling them, anxious about what is she anxious about? You know, so what is she gets anxious of the in-laws? If that's the case, then have them no touch, no talk, no eye contact, and train your dog prior to bringing him to the in-laws. And then maybe over time, the dog gets comfortable with the in-laws, and you can come bring something that the dog likes, whether that's a ball game or whether that's food or whatever, something like that. Another one that you could do is if this is one that I did, I'm going to post this video because we just did it over the weekend with the dogs. We had 2 Dachshunds who came for a training session. They were ballistic the first session, trying to go after us, the whole thing. And then by this session now, so much better. The owners are on top of it. They're working hard. And they were like 20 minutes earlier for the session. So we had them just go to the dog park and play with their Dachshunds. And they told me that, oh, this guy, Ollie, loves playing ball. And the other one follows and plays with it. So when I got to the park, me and Adam, the dogs were barking at us and unsure and this and that. So I let them, we just did no touch, no talk, no eye contact, let them go back to their game. And I said, hey, after you throw it and he brings it back, pass me the ball. Right? So it's a way for the human owner to show the dog that this is a person that we trust and we're allowing into our pack to play. And I'm being allowed in to have fun with the dog, which is a good thing, right? Because that dog had high play drive. So by her passing me the ball and me throwing it, now I become associated to the game and the ball playing game, and mom believed that this is a good guy to have around. So that's a really good way to do it if you have a dog who's like playful or has a play drive and a good retrieving type thing. You could take your guest and then go into the yard, and then they don't tell the dog to come back. They don't tell the dog to drop it. None of that shit. They're bringing it back to the human who passes it to you, and then that person then throws the ball. And then they bring it back to the human. And over time, as trust starts to build, they might bring it to the human. That's a big step in the right direction. Then wow, what a good boy, and you throw it. But don't make sure you're not doing too much verbal, too much eye contact, too much staring at the dog. There's a lot of factors when it comes to that stuff.
If we do a good job of you spinning the iPad around, you can actually show I'm sending it to the iPad and it's almost sent.
Okay.
Because that was a really good moment there.
What?
There it goes.
Oh, yeah.
You wanted to spin the iPad around.
Hopefully I don't fuck this.
Nice and gentle, yeah, nice and gentle.
Hopefully I don't fuck this all up for you guys, but let's see. So you can see what the hell we were doing here. So look, that Oreo is the nervous one. Yep. So the ball comes back to this is me in slow motion right now.
Nice and slow motion.
Yeah, slow it down, bro. Slow it down. See, I'm trying to calm down. So Adam tries to calm me down. Like that.
Yeah.
So basically, what I'm saying here is like this really helps him because like now like I have the thing. And he's like, yeah, you're gonna throw it. Look, throw it there. Then Ollie throws it. I throw it for Oreo. Oreo goes gets it. It's really good. And they started to trust a little more. And believe it or not, they ended up actually leaving Oreo, who's like the black and grayish one here, because he's super, super nervous. So we're helping him get out of his comfort zone and work with him. So that's that. See if hopefully I don't fuck this up now. I'm back. Boom. Okay. So that's another good way to do it. But yeah, remember, preparation's a big one. And what are you doing in the meantime? Are you doing that stuff somewhere else where you're giving all this affection and petting this dog or are you nurturing them for being insecure in your space, right? Because we don't want to do that. It's one of the most common things people do with an insecure dog is the dog says, well, can I link this nervousness to you? And the human goes, okay, it's okay, baby. And then the dog says, okay, so at least you and I can stay nervous together and we'll keep everybody else away from our nervous little pack here. Well, we don't want to be that. We want to be the one where the dog says, can you help me? And we're like, we got your back. We'll protect and direct you because we care about you enough to give you accountability and give you direction and protect you and take away this just petting for nothing thing, just petting just because I want to pet. Ask yourself those questions throughout the day when you pet your dog or talk to them. Say, what was that for? What was the purpose? I like that because it's one to say like, and you could do this with each other if you have a spouse there or kids or whatever. Just say, so what did you tell him good boy there for? And it's like, I don't know, just for being, I guess, it's good to understand how much you actually talk to them and do that stuff. It's really, really interesting to see that. I always say the other one is the 24-hour vow of silence, because you'll notice how often you actually are saying things to these dogs, to your dogs, and how much your attention you're giving, undeserved attention.
Or pointless.
Which is what a lot of these people on the social media thing are getting, a lot of undeserved attention, and then their egos are getting freaking inflated through the roof. That's another whole fucking thing.
Way to tie that in there.
Thank you. Okay. Why does my pup love finding, chewing on sticks outside, even when he has other things to play with? Is it an instinctual prey drive thing? Nico loves sticks too. I mean, it fits perfectly in the dog's mouth. It's chewy. They can break it up. It can snap and break and all that. So it's just something they enjoy doing. That's really it for me on the stick thing. I mean, the retrievers, of course, are going to love sticks way more. Dogs used to, bring things to their den and make a den. So that could be part of it. I got a bad connection here. Okay, we're back. Let's see. The girl with the dog tattoo. Okay, so you guys have changed my life. Okay. I like hearing that. Star-Lord was lunging, barking, nipping, and we are at the dog park. How do I know what's playful and what's not? How do I teach him to play? Okay, so you can send me a video of that. Just be careful with that if you've been bringing him to the dog park, which is awesome, right? But the dog park is a place that's a big variable because you don't know what dog and what people are going to be there at what time. So it's something that's not a controlled environment for a dog that's had issues with other dogs. I would just be very, very careful about what dogs are in there that I would bring the dogs with. Bring my dog in with to a dog park. And are the humans in agreement? Do they understand what's going on? These are, this is what I'm saying about the public dog parks is the public, for the most part, does not understand dogs. And they're getting away with a lot of bullshit because, for the most part, a dog is such a damn social animal that fights are not as common. They don't really want to be fighting. But humans bring all this tension and all this bullshit to the dogs and to the environment and all their issues that it causes dogs to fight and react. Because the point is, it sounds like you've done a lot of work to get your dog to the point where it can actually be in a dog park. That I wouldn't make the dog park my primary spot of socialization for sure. Way better would be going for like group walks, pack walks, like that kind of stuff. Training your dog a little bit before that and bringing them to that environment somewhat fulfilled, and then going for a nice long walk. Because to me, that's the humans in control. It's structure. The dogs aren't doing all this like face to face, and the intensity isn't rising like crazy. They're just coexisting first. First, we have to start with coexisting. Same thing for when people want to get dogs into the same home. I'm like, first we have to get them to coexist before they start having, WWF wrestling match in the middle of the fucking floor kind of thing, Like, let's get them to understand the rules of the place. What are the rules, boundaries, limitations of this home? How do we do things here? How intense can we play? Oh, so first what we do is we just have to be inside and relax. Got it. Then what's the next step? Then this. And then as time goes on, you start going a little bit more and more as time goes on. Danny, the dog trainer, best way to prepare your dog for a new baby. Oh, yeah. And what if you don't have time to bring home a blanket or something that smells like the baby? Well, bring it with you. You can bring it home. Yeah, we do a lot of that stuff. So many of our clients that we have who the dogs come here for boarding and camp and all that and training, they come stay with us when the humans go to have the baby, right? So prior to the moment, listen, for me, I'm not concerned about it because I do so much damn work with Nico and my dogs that no matter what I bring home, they're going to be like, I don't know, that's Steve. So he's allowed to have it. So for someone like me, it's not an issue. I don't really have to do anything but present the scent and let them hear some noises to desensitize so they know what it is. And then tell them, give distance to the scent until I tell you to come in, just like we do all the time with guests, with me, with everything, right? So it's just, I've been doing it forever with them, so that's just what they know. And then the baby's just another thing. Like don't touch my steak is don't come touch my baby, And then as time goes on, I'll show you how to be by the baby. You can come respectfully, come calmly. But for that stuff, it's the moment that the female finds out they're pregnant is time to start getting the stuff and bringing it in the house. Start getting I don't even know the fucking baby names and all. That's my problem. But like the swing thing, like the noises, the toys, the crib, anything that you're gonna have. As soon as you can get it into the house, put it there and show your dog what to do with it, which should just be calm about it, or give it distance, which is respect. I would maybe block off the baby room, not allow them to come into the baby room. They come in, no, pick up the leash, send them back out. Not allowed to be in here until we invite you in here. So those are a lot of things. And one thing we like to do is we'll get the stroller going and start teaching the owners how to walk the dog with a stroller, even though there's no baby inside. What we actually use is the baby is a phone, put it in there, and then on YouTube, here, I'll show you what we'll play. Just number one, I tell the clients this too. I go, so this is going to be desensitizing for both you and for the...
Holy shit, that's loud.
That's all it is. That's not Adam, by the way. This is YouTube.
Mine's way more annoying than that.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what we'll do. Well, that'll be playing in the thing. So then think about this, right? The goal with the baby or anything is you have to have the nose, the eyes, and the ears in a calm follower state and giving respect, right? So what can we do? So the nose, we won't have the scent of that baby until the baby's born. So that's the towel part. That's the last thing. I'll explain that last. First thing would be the sounds, right? So the sounds and then the vision of the objects there, whether that's the stroller, the crib, the toys, the high chair, the whatever the fuck, right? All that stuff. And then so that's the vision of all that. You're going to make the sounds of all that stuff, right? They're going to hear the nose and the eyes. The eyes and the ears for all that stuff. The last thing we need is the nose. So then the baby blanket, the diaper, whatever it is a very strong smell to a baby. You come with the scent. So I would come with it. I've done it many times. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I'll come with here's the bag. And then the dog's like over by you guys, and I open the bag from here, and I see the reaction. And as soon as I see the nose start going like that, if the dog starts moving towards me, I say no, and I back them up, right? And then I settle them and let them smell from a distance. So I'm telling them from here, you can smell it, right? This is what the baby, you're going to see what it looks like in here. You know what all that shit is. But from here, you can smell, and I need you to relax. So the distance, they say, oh, so I guess that scent is his. Because remember, a dog is 60% of the brain is nose. So I'm telling a majority of the brain, this scent of that baby, what it means is you give it distance. You show it respect, and that's the leader's baby. So he'll give you direction on how you should be with it. That's really it. Hopefully that made sense. We could do another video on that too.
Yeah, for sure.
Suzanne says, I'm letting my two terriers sniff and explore. Sometimes they find things I don't see and eat them. How can I keep them from eating? I tried to leave it. I tried drop it, leave it, etc. Sometimes pick them up and they will. Okay. I think I got that. So the thing is what does your leave it and drop it mean? Have you practiced that? Because if you're just saying, this is what humans do all the time, is they speak English to a dog and they start talking to it like it's going to rationalize and understand, but a dog has no fucking idea what you're talking about or saying. When you go drop it, the dog's just hearing da da da. That's all they're hearing. They don't know what it means. But if you make the sound the same and you show the dog what drop it should mean. So in that moment, it could be you have the leash on. This is where you have to start conditioning the dog to understanding what like no means or drop means, right? But for me, the most ideal is just no. Because when he goes to go get the food or let's just say he's going to grab like paper off the floor or whatever. And as they're going to get the paper, you're watching, loose leash. And the moment that they go to grab that paper, you pop leash and you say no, right? So that also teaches them, all right, so they don't want me to have that thing. Got it. The other part is you have to teach them the out and the drop things separately. And I would also you said you have two of them. So maybe you start going with one of them and monitoring, see who's the one who's really trying to grab this shit all the time. And am I exercising them enough that they are so interested in eating shit off the floor? You know, what else can I do to get my dog engaged with me on the walk? Why, like to be? And I saw you said, I think they said that when they explore, are you allowing them to explore or are they exploring on their own? That's a big factor too, because if they just pull you into the grass and start eating, or start smelling, they made the decision in their mind to go do that. The human didn't allow it, so us by doing nothing about it, we become the follower because the dog said, I'm going to go smell this. And by default, they're saying, human, you stand there and wait while I do this, and I'll eat shit off the floor. And then when I'm ready, I'll come back and go. So for me, I would rather go for the walk, keep the dog going, and then pick a spot, settle the dog down, make it very obvious in the beginning. Sit. Good. They're calm, giving me eye contact, free or okay. And then now let them go in, but they still can't yank me all around in there. That's going to be then in there, but there's rules to that too, where they have 6-foot radius to go smell around and mingle and whatever, pee, poop, smell the flowers, whatever you need to do, and then let's go back for the walk. And then when I'm ready to go, let's go, and I start walking for the walk, and they come with. How do you use vibration collar for long distance recall? Okay, so you need long line if you're going to do vibrate. Either of them, if you're going to teach it that way, you're going to do you can do back and forths, right? So you start walking, right? And then your dog, here, I'll show you. So you start walking this way, right? And then the dog then passes you. You stop, and then you back up. And then as they're coming back to you, you say the word. You do vibrate here. As they start coming back, right before you hit the leash pressure, bring them back. As they're coming back, you say the words come. And when they come, you give them food or something there. Listen, this is the easiest way to start all that shit. First, get them conditioned to coming to you. Forget about the vibrate. You're going to use that later on. Walk around your house, and when your dog is wherever, wave the scent of food right across. Where's this thing? Right here. Wave the scent, and the dog is like this, and it smells. And then as they start coming to you, you back away, and you tell the dog, let's just say it was Nico. I'd say his name, Nico, and I would say, come. And then as they're coming, good boy. I wait for the dog to come all the way in, and then when they get into me, good, you're yes, and then give food. You don't have to do this good and yes thing. You don't really have to do that, just so you understand the bridge and the reward thing. The bridge means like good, like the treat is on its way to you, and then yes is like package delivered, reward, eat that food or get that toy or whatever the hell you want to call it, right? Okay, so that would be that's one where I'm teaching the dog, just getting them into the routine and conditioning to hear and getting into the routine of coming back to me over and over again through the nose. I like to do it through the nose because the nose is, again, 60% of the brain. And then I'm telling the ears what it means, right? So I tell the nose, boom, smells like chicken or steak or whatever the fuck, right? Dog says, the eyes go, where is that coming from? Ah, that guy. And then they starts coming towards me, and I'm telling the ears in that moment, Nico, come, right? Then over time, once I got that to a really good thing, I have the dog wherever, and he knows the come command really well. I'll add low-level vibrate to it right before. I would go, Nico, come, right? And then the dog comes back. That's one way I could do a video on that stuff too, for sure.
Do you like going through each question? I want to make sure, because Steve's on a kind of tight schedule today, guys. I want to make sure to get to some pertinent questions. You want to scroll down a little bit and maybe skip ahead a little bit, get the ones that are juicy. Thoughts
on using a low-level... I'll just do one real quick. Okay. Here, thoughts on using low-level Ecarl to tell a dog to calm down. Can work. It might not. Very much depends on the dog. To me, yeah, that's very dog-dependent on that. But the dog would also have to understand what the stim means, which means stop what you're doing and relax. So Nico knows that. So when I do a stim with him and I tell him like he's all revved up, I'm very rarely ever use that tool. I really use it only for when I'm off leash and I'm letting him go at far distances kind of thing. But yeah, you could use it for that for sure. It just has to be like low level. It depends what color are you using too, and low level to who, who's the dog. So I would use the lowest possible level that actually influences the dog. Let's put it that way, depending on who the individual dog is. So I'll scroll all the way to the end. Sorry, guys. If you were next, they're probably like, this is bullshit. But...
No, I was going to ask them what they thought about that, if they wanted more recent
ones. So now we're to the Bailey brief. Can you screenshot a lot of these questions, if you don't mind?
Yeah.
So we can have them for after. How do you address alert barking to hallway noises or window sights? Do counter conditioning. So, all right. So with that stuff, number one, I'm always checking what's the dog's exercise schedule. So many of the dogs I work with, the biggest issue is exercise. That's why I talk about it so fucking much, because people aren't challenging the dog. They go, I walk my dog, and I go, how long do you walk him? About every other day for 30 minutes. That's not even like appetizers for the dog. That's like the breads on the table for a dog, you know? That's not even, you didn't even get to the appetizers, let alone having your meal and dessert and all that. So to me, it's like, it's so fucking important to make sure these dogs are fulfilled. So many dogs are living without a purpose. They're getting anxious. They're getting frustrated. They don't know what to do. So that's the first thing. The other part would be you need help with that. So, and what are the noises? Is it keys? Oh, I just did a session recently with somebody who the dog with the keys outside would get the dog crazy. So we did a long walk, but the dog was also controlling the walk, controlling the direction, controlling the speed. So it was controlling a lot of things. And it was a dog who had energy who should have been going. So they could barely even walk because the dog kept stopping and stopping and stopping. But the dog didn't even know why it was doing it. It was just like, I don't know. I just control these people. I'll just stop them right now. So as soon as they got the dog going, we went inside. And yes, the dog had the reaction. I had Cassie outside doing the keys, right? And because that dog, so understand to me, because that dog was so extreme with its reaction, I actually did a correction there. So I put a leash on, and when it got all the way to the door, I popped the leash. I said no. And the dog was like, what the fuck is going on here? So first, to create some hesitation and to break that neurological pathway of someone's in the hallway and I just explode and go, and there's nothing that stops me. Well, now there might be a correction there or something that can interrupt you. So that causes at least some hesitation of just exploding. Then the dog was super food motivated. So no brainer with that one. I have Cassie on the phone and I go, all right, jingle the keys now as I'm putting the food to the dog's nose, right? The dog's like, and then they're starting to eat it. Clink, 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 clink. And she goes like this, but then eats some of the food. And I go, stop. And then I stop with the food. I just repeated that over and over and over and over again. It's going to take time. Don't get me wrong to do that. But the other one you could do is the positive interruption video that I did a while ago with that dog Taco of teach a click treat, but not the way that everyone's a click excited treat, click treat, not with all that thing. I would do, if I was going to do it for a situation like you're talking about, I would do click, and then I would have the dog's the what do you call it, the scent in front of the dog's nose. So then he's going trying to find the food, and then click, and then I open it, and then he gets to eat. So then he's more using nose, getting the scent. Then here's the click, and then the food's presented. So then that could, in turn, once you've charged that enough and you created that association in a healthy way, it might be a situation where the dog has now barks because he hears something in the hallway, and you click, and it redirects the brain to be calmly come and get food. That's the ideal way. Hopefully that made sense. I always say, like, hopefully it made sense because I just fucking just like.
Do you remember what you say when you do that?
No.
It just comes out.
Yeah, I'm just letting them rattle off here. What's the best way to start? Hold on. Jay Roberts, what's the best way? My reading is like, I was good at math in school. My reading is like not the best at all here. So what's the best way to start to allow a reactive dog to greet other dogs? We're getting closer and closer, but don't want to ruin any progress by doing the final step incorrectly. So, well, let me know where you're at. I don't know where you're at right now. Like, and what do you mean by you're closer? You know, because closer based on what? You know, that's what I kind of have to understand. So that's one where when I'm doing that stuff, it's a lot of like greeting other dogs. You know, are you talking about the actual meeting where they meet and smell each other, whole thing, or like just walking with them? You know, to me, walking by far is the best way. If you want to get dogs good, train your dogs prior to, and then meet up. Don't have the dogs like meet and interact, like just the humans get together and then just go for a walk together. And they go for a long ass walk, and you just create the Pac-Man drive in these dogs. They're like, I don't know, these humans are in control, and I guess we're together now. So that's how it's going to be. That's the most important thing is the humans. It's always the humans. Like, that's why I do spend so much time with you guys and training our clients when they come here and spending so much time talking to them, because it's so important to me that they understand. Because that's just that's the next one to the dog. How do you stop your dog when rough playing with another dog? Do you have control of the dog? Is it the dog prepared? Because look, play is excitement. So what was likely happening is that you're not able to interrupt at a high level of excitement. So I would maybe not let him play with those dogs there, or I would bring the dog prior to, so he doesn't go to such extreme levels of that. But another thing you could do is you put leashes on. You have long lines on your dog. You bring another dog who you know won't react back if you come to interrupt, and will just move away when you come, and so you take the leash, you do the leash pressure, settle the dog, and then if he keeps going, you correct, no, tell him to settle down, and then once he settles all the way to 0, then you allow him to go. If he goes back intense rough playing again, stop him again. So over time, he'll start regulating the intensity at which he can play. You know, hopefully that made sense. All right. Sound of lightning too. I don't know. Okay. Female pit is afraid of thunder or loud noise such as garbage can moving away. How can I train her? Let's see what you guys think. Wild guess. Do you think I'm going to say that make sure your dog is drained or no? So make sure your dog is exercised sufficiently. Now, how can I tell When you bring them back and they're panting and they want to go lay down and relax for a while, you did your job, right? So I'm always on the front end over and 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 over saying, what are you doing with your dog throughout the day and are they fulfilled? Because then all these little anxieties and things they get neurotic about and all these random things become way more of a bigger deal when you're all charged up with like this pent up energy. Oh my God, it's thunder. What are we going to do about it, right? So that would be one. If I saw okay, now let's just say you have been fulfilling your dog and now you see that there's going to be a thunder lightning storm. Okay. So I would, the day before or maybe 2 days before, do a lot of exercise. So that day's more of a recovery day when the lightning's going to be coming, right? I was going to make a joke here because there's just the sound of lightning too.
That's a song?
Yeah. No, but it's just the sound of the lightning. So lightning isn't a sound.
Oh, yeah. No.
Thunder's the sound.
It thunders the sound, yeah.
That's me being nitpicking. But I would drain the dog prior to, and then are we talking about the actual event? Let's do the preparation. So I would do things and see, let me get my dog trained on a treadmill so I could put it on the treadmill, being focused on doing treadmill, right? And then I'm going to bring a speaker and start playing some thunder, right? It's not going to be the same because the pressure of the air and all the noise and the light and the darkness, all that's different, right? But you can at least start getting the noise to go. So you play the thunder at a low level and the dog, what do I do? But it's focused on continuing to go on the treadmill and walk. So then it recovers. And you can keep doing that over and over. That's one option. You can use a thunder shirt, but people use a thunder shirt in the wrong way. I don't even know if thunder shirt, the company even knows how to use the fucking thunder shirt.
How do people normally do it?
Normally what people do is they buy a thunder shirt and say, great, I'll put it on. Oh, look, it looks like it's going to rain or it's thundering. Let's put the thunder shirt on. But then that all it does is create the association of when this tight thing comes on me, that means like this traumatic shit's going to happen. Mm-hmm. This thunder and all this thing. So for me, the thunder shirt is... I'm creating this association of making sure, yet again, that my dog is fulfilled psychologically and physically. And then when he's resting and recovering and going to take a nap, I put the thunder shirt on. I let him sleep and rest with the thunder shirt. And then he wakes up and he starts getting like his energy back. And I take the thunder shirt off. And I would do that for a while before an actual thunderstorm. So you're starting to create the association that the thunder shirt actually equals rest, recovery, calmness. And the more you create that, then the more that's what's going to mean when that thing comes on is to rest and relax. The other thing I would do is I wouldn't let the dog, if he does still react to the thunder and all that stuff, if he's pacing around and doing all this movement and he gets stuck, is grabbing a leash and stopping the movement. And then maybe bringing them over by you and giving them a bed to go on and chill. Those are other things you can do too. But, again, this is every dog's an individual. So it really depends on the individual dog of what my approach would be to each. So take everything that I'm saying in this live with a grain of salt because I'm just hearing or just reading something of what you guys in your description or your viewpoint is of this thing, right? So without seeing the actual dog, it's a lot of times I always say there's two sides to the story. There's the human side and the dog side. So without seeing the dog side, I'm only getting the first half of the story, right? So that's what we'd have to look into. Laura says, great stuff. Awesome. Man. Yeah, this is the problem going the other way.
You can scroll down to the bottom. Scroll all the way down.
No, but going backwards, like people are writing stuff, and I'm like, what are they saying there, though?
But if you scroll all the way down, you'll see another one.
I see. It says like Dog Perfect UK says like the muzzle.
Oh no, I was saying if you scroll all the way down, just get another question. How do you introduce the crate after being out of it for 2.5 years?
Oh yeah. How do we introduce so ERR Carv CARV? How to introduce the crate after being out of it for 2.5 years? How soon could I leave the house with him in it? Is it okay if he's upset, anxious that I left? So how was he like? We have to know what he was like in the kennel prior to. Was he good about it, or he was terrible in it and he whined about it and you let him out? Because it really matters. If he was good about it, you just go back to what you did. And I would just always bring him there when he's tired. Here's what you have. Here's the big. Okay, let's try to do this one time for everyone. Okay, here's the big tip when it comes to separation anxiety, crate issues, all that shit. The dogs are likely not being fulfilled enough. It doesn't make sense to them to go into this box, to stay home behind without the human there, right? Or something to engage them, or they're not fulfilled. So when I get the crate dogs, I'm like, oh, this dog's gonna issue a crate. Day one is we're gonna do over the top exercise. We're gonna keep this dog active as much as they can handle for the day. Of course, we're keeping safety in mind for all the people who want to get the PC culture and be like, oh, make sure they're drinking water. Yeah, I know. We ran a business for the last 12 years without giving the dogs water and letting them exhaust themselves. That's what we did here. It's amazing. Like when you do, it's like some of these ones, the reason I'm venting a little on that is like we did one on the Frenchie with the Frenchie we had recently, who the people, if people just took the time to read the fucking caption or watch the whole video, they would say, oh, the owners have been hiking this dog for 8 miles a day, and the dog never got drained and was so pent up with energy, he was desperate to run. So Steve let the dog run. Wow. Isn't that crazy thought process, right? And then the dog finally got to run like it wanted to, and then he started panting. Wow. That's crazy, right? And then we gave him water, and then we brought him inside to relax. But it's literally
let me just make a I admit I did not put the water drinking in there, and I should have.
Yeah.
Adam fucked up for the PC culture though. Otherwise we would have been fine without it.
Yeah, because like in the video they didn't actually see the water, but just shows the level of worry and concern and on edge and fear that people live in. Yeah. That they couldn't just like breathe and say, let me see what happened here and understand what happened here. Oh, I see. You bike the dog. Quiet. Bike the dog. That's Jake this time. Bike the dog for a long period of time. Not that long. It was like 15 minutes, by the way. We biked that dog.
Literally 15.
Yeah, 15 minutes on a day there was like 60 degrees outside. Yeah. And we bring him back, and he was tired, and then he came in and relaxed. And the owners are telling, I've never seen him so relaxed. He looks so much happier. He looks so much more peaceful. But you get the person who says, wow, look at that dog who was a psycho when he got there and is now feeling so much better, can be with the dogs, blah, blah, blah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out the way to talk about his water drinking in this whole scenario. That's what you went with? Okay. Did you get anything else out of this thing, So anyway, that's my little vent right there.
That's okay. True. Who agrees on the Instagram Live? Who agrees?
Yeah. Who agrees with me with that shit?
Yeah.
It's like that. Sometimes when people write that stuff, I go, and did you get anything else out of it? Was there anything else you got out of the video besides just that you didn't see the dog drink water quickly enough for your nervousness? Yeah. So whatever. I don't give a shit. It's one of those things that I have no issue like challenging that back because I'm not pissed at those people. I'm just like, out of all that, that's what you saw. Because you know what it does? It shows me a little glimpse into that person's mindset.
A lot of hearts coming in right now.
Yeah, I know. It gives me a glimpse into the people's mindset, though, when they say, all right, I'm going to take time out of my day. So what I'm going to do today, because this is why I know this stuff. I'll do this quick little rant here, is I know that back in the day when I was upset and frustrated and angry, after my whole baseball, when I talked about, or my baseball career ended, I moved into the party scene. That's where I was like, I'll compete in drinking and going out and girls and this and parties and clubs and all this shit, right? So that was like my whole entire life. And what I would do during the day was, let's go on somebody else's page and talk shit about them. That'll make me feel better. But I was in the worst state of my life that I could have possibly been in when I was doing that stuff. Then I got to a place where I was like, I need to rehabilitate myself. I didn't go on anything for a while. Did myself. And then once I got into a better state of mind, then I started being like, I wanted to pump people up and make them feel good about themselves, Changed everything. So I can see when people, they saw, let's just say like 60 things in a video, and they said, I'm going to pick that one thing that I didn't like to discuss. So what else are you doing in your life of things of pointing out like I don't like the way my shoes look today, so I'm going to be down all day. Or I don't like this one thing, even though everything else is going well in my life, or there's so much opportunity there, I'm going to focus on the one thing that I'm not doing good, or focus on the one thing that doesn't make me feel good, or I'm going to focus on the one thing that pisses me off, Whatever.
That's I like Who's Walking Wolf said, those are the anxious folks who can't understand why their dogs are so anxious.
Yeah. I know.
On point.
Yes.
That's why we have the pack here. That's why I wanted to ask that question, see what our pack thinks.
You get a lot of these people in the rescue world, unfortunately, too. And I love the rescue world. I love so many contacts and friends in rescue and shelter, but there's so many that are in there also that have their own traumas and own things and then they're bringing it to a dog world and saying like, I'll save you, dog. Like, you're just like me, traumatized and blah, blah, blah. But then they're trapping these fucking dogs in insecurity and they're dumping all this affection on. Then the dog then the worst possible scenario is here comes the dog about to get adopted. And then one of the rescue girls or guys who is linking all their crap to that dog shows up, and the dog starts having a meltdown and wants to go back with that person. right?
Yeah.
And then the human says, I don't want to adopt this dog. Look at the level of anxiety this dog has.
Right.
Well, it didn't have that until that person created it
right.
at the shelter because they wanted to save them and all this shit,
Yeah, there's got a couple good questions coming in. Please put that into a short video about pet owners complaining about the little shit on their dog and not themselves. I like that one. We'll make a video on that.
Well, look, you know what I do with the people sometimes, like with those Frenchie owners, perfect example. They showed up and you saw the dog, right? If you go back on the Instagram and just look back, you'll see it's 2 or 3 posts ago of the Frenchie. That dog was like red zone losing his mind. Hold on 1 second, guys.
Got to go address Nico real quick.
No, not Nico.
Or Jake. Is that our boy Jake there? It's our boy Jake there. So for Instagram, he's just checking in on Jake down there, being a little whiny.
This is a good one for you guys to understand, right? So that was Jake. That's my older guy. Cassie's original dog. So this is what happens when anxiety is developed, and you guys need to understand this shit, okay? That Jake is mine. He lives with me now, but also this is a weird situation where I was the trainer, right? the dog person to help her with the dog. But then I moved in with her and her dog, right? With Cassie, right? She moved in with me with the dog. Just so you guys
I knew you were going to clarify that.
So we moved in together, and that was the situation, right? So the problem is, for 4 years, she had practice unknowingly developing anxiety in Jake. So to this day, still, there's a scenario where Cassie's outside, I'm sure, somewhere right now, and he goes to the window because I'm not there to address him right now and do that stuff because he knows I'm occupied. And he stares at the window, and we call him like the whistle band. He starts going.
The whistle band.
It's just what. It's very low level. Over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. So believe it or not, I actually had a conversation with Cassie about it recently. And I said to her, look, Jake's 11. He's going on 11 now. He's still dealing with this stuff. What do you think it is? Right? And she said, I'm not sure what it is. So I said, I can tell you. This is the thing that I have to do in a relationship too, right? Like, would you like to know?
Right.
Are you open to that? That's one too that you guys can do too.
It's really good for influence, buddy.
Yeah, for friends, family, and things you want to say. Would you be interested in another option or a possibility that could be here that I noticed potentially, right? Yeah. And what I said to her is, something that you do that I appreciate is, she comes in hot sometimes. Like that song, I'm coming in hot. Like that should be Colleen. I was about to say Colleen.
Oh my God.
So that was my ex, is Colleen.
Oh no.
That's Cassie's is her thing. The way she comes in, like, and I was saying she's like Kramer coming in, like coming in like super freaking hot, right? So she comes in like, hey guy, and like, hi Jakey, and like that stuff. And not always. A lot of times with Jake, she ignores, but she comes in and she'll say something to Jamie or say something to somebody else in the house. But what happens is, for the dog's perspective, the dog's by himself inside, right? Now that human enters, the first thing that they experience of that human entering is excitement, right? So the dog goes, you represent excitement. I got to get up and come over to you and go near you. So Cassie always does the right things of send the dog back to their place and do that stuff, right? But she still has been coming in a little bit excited. So it's something that I notice obvious in the mornings, right? I get up pretty early and I'll be sitting on the couch. I'll have Nico and Jake or whoever out, right? And things are quiet, peaceful. I come out, I can walk all over the house, and the dogs are just, they don't give a fuck. They're just like, Steve's going wherever. As soon as Cassie comes out of the room, they're all, well, what's about to happen? What's about to happen right now? What are we doing? Jake's getting up. Nico starts whining a little bit, right? So I go through it too, guys. My point is, right, is I'm in a relationship. I have multiple dogs, many dogs here, all this kind of stuff, that you're dealing with a relationship and how to try to influence your spouse to see things in a different way, to understand things, right? Because the thing for me is, I don't want Jake to have to deal with anxiety, right? Like I don't want Cassie to deal with anxiety. I don't want Nico to deal with anxiety. I don't want them to have to go through that crap. So that's why I am willing to have those tough conversations, difficult conversations, and tell Cass, hey, look, I want to just point one thing out, and I'm not saying this in a way to hurt your feelings or be bad. I love that you're bubbly and have this energy to you that's happy and all this kind of thing. However, you coming in that way is a real problem for the dog still, right? So just be a little bit more. And then another thing I explained to her too is sometimes she'll come in and Nico will be in his kennel, right, in the back. And then she goes and starts getting Jake really excited, right? And Jake starts playing, and then Nico starts getting a little whiny because he's like, wow, this girl's bringing a lot of excitement in here. I kind of want to get involved here, you know? So that's where I'm saying, hey, you just got to be aware that if you're going to bring this stuff, it's not the easiest. Okay, it's not the easiest said. It's easier said than done with your spouse to do this stuff. So the reason I'm saying this is I'm in it myself, and it's, to me, with my eyes, so fucking obvious. It's like, oh my God, like this is the most obvious thing I've ever seen in the world here. This is why the dog does this. So let me just explain it to her. But you have to understand the person you're telling it to may not see it that way, may not be aware of that. So your job is to help them become aware, not to make them wrong and make them bad, right? So if I tell Cassie, look, this is what's happening over and over, and she just says, fuck you, I'm going to do it anyway, that's wrong as far as I'm concerned. But now, ever since I explained this to her, she's working on coming in calmer, right? And the dogs are changing, which is pretty fucking awesome, right? That's how it goes. So listen, and I explain a lot. I talk a lot to my clients about the feminine instincts, masculine instincts, because men and women both have masculine and feminine, whether, whatever culture wants to talk about nowadays, that we both have both. But I said in the certain moments when you want to be in the feminine, I understand you because 85% of my clients are female, right? So I understand what you're going through just by being around what people have told me over the years, right? So, but this is not a moment for nurturing. This is not a moment for excitement. This is not a moment for making sure the dog's emotionally safe right now. They're fine. The dogs are fine. They've been fine the whole entire time. You're creating a state that them to not be safe, which is anxiety. So we don't want that. We want that if you actually want to fulfill them and make them safe, make them feel comfortable, calm, and confident, right? So don't make them feel more anxious and frustrated and nervous.
What'd you do with Jake when you went down there?
So he was standing by the window, and when he was like standing at the window, he saw me coming, and he understood right away. And I said, "Go!" And he because his hearing's not as good now.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you hear like the noise or not?
Yeah, he got startled.
Yeah. So he has his thing now. So now he's losing his hearing, and think of him, right? So he's standing at the front door, probably looking at Cassie or whoever the fuck, right? And he's going like this, and then I come down the stairs, and he can't hear me. And then all of a sudden, he like turns around, and like the leader is standing right there. And he was like, and runs through his bed. Because normally he would have just heard me start to walk down the stairs, like back in the day, and he would go right to his bed and be done with it. But the problem becomes with this is that it's me. So the source is Cassie.
Yeah.
Okay. So the source of the problem here is Cassie in that scenario because he has a low-level anxious relationship with her at times, right? So by me being the one who addresses and says, no, don't be anxious about her, do that. And then she, let's just say hypothetically, came back in excited, and hey, Jakey, and all that thing. I'm just like trying to swim upstream kind of thing. I'm just going to stay in the same spot because the dog's saying no, but that human wants me to be that level, wants me to be that excited, wants me to be that whiny and be anxious and be concerned about where she is at all times, right? So that's one that we're dealing with. It's ongoing, right? Ongoing thing. And it happens, but I deal with it too. Like, you know what I'm saying? And this is, Cassie's lived with me for fucking 6 years or something now, whatever it's been. She's a certified dog trainer. She went to school for this stuff. She knows the stuff, right? But my point is she knows it, but the emotional world can take over, right? And then forget, oh my God, I'm not being instinctual right now. I'm creating this divide in my pack by my energy. So, but the hardest part is getting people to see it and be aware of it. So luckily for me, Cassie wants to be aware. She wants to understand and see. At sometimes more than others, so I'll be honest about that. But that's life. That's realistic. I can't expect Cassie to always be open to my direction about dogs. You know, all I do is fucking talk about dogs in business. So there's going to be times she's like, "Can we talk about something else?" And I'm like, "Yes." Right. But we do need to talk about this because this dog is dealing with something that we have to overcome. And it's part of our pack. And being that I'm the leader of the whole thing, I have to let you see that stuff because I can't let you keep making our dogs anxious in any way, right? Yeah. So she understood it. How do you become a certified dog trainer? You can do what I did in the beginning, which was you worked with dogs a little bit, and then you fill out a form, go to a testing fucking place, and fill out a multiple choice thing, and you're certified. That's what certification is, just so you know.
Yeah.
So I don't even really bother with all that shit anymore, to be honest, because there's nothing that's really regulated by the government at this point. And if people say like, well, why should we use you? I say, call up Caesar, call up the dog whisperer and ask him if he certifies me. He'll say, yeah, he's my guy. So I'm certified by the dog whisperer.
Certified by a Mexican. Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. Certified by the Mexicano.
The Mexicans.
Okay.
Hey,
hopefully that made sense though. I
think that was a great,
so people can see like that. Like this is something I'm trying to do way more of. Show that like around here, it's not like all fucking kumbaya and perfect around here. You know, there's a lot of dogs, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of shit going on. Everyone's got their own issues and things that they have to deal with. That things come up. You know, it's not perfect. But how we resolve conflict and problems here is something that I'm really pumped about. Is we stay just like we do with the dogs. We stay calm, we stay calculated, we see the problem for what it is and remove all the bullshit emotion out of it and say, all right, what is the best solution to this problem? You know? And it's not like, well, Steve said, well, yeah, but maybe I'm not the best to make the decision at this time, right? Like make a decision on something else. And someone who has a great track record of making a decision on boarding cases or whatever should make that decision. So it doesn't have to always be me making the decision. I want the whole team engaged. You know, I want everybody understanding.
Guys, we're going to be getting off of this live soon. Is there anything that you guys wanted answered? Urgent question.
Did you get all the questions?
I got a good amount of them. I can go back right now.
How did you and Adam meet? That was at Caesar's place, TCW. Adam was doing media and the stuff for the workshops, and I was student first. It was before Adam was there, and then I was doing the workshops for a while. Then Adam came on with Hyro and them, and started doing the media for the workshop and the audio and everything. Yep. And we just started talking. I was always there. So
the first thing actually, it's funny that we're doing this podcast together right now. You wanted me to do a podcast with you.
That was so. What was it, like 5 years ago or something? I don't know. Whatever it was, we were out there, and I said, I really want to like do a podcast and get something going here. At the time, I was talking a little bit with a PR girl, and she was like, "You should really do a podcast and get things going and stuff." Yeah. And I said to him, I was like, "Can you come out and like set me up with one?" That's basically what I wanted him to do, just set me up with one. And then he came out, and then we started working together. And then the rest is history. Just started really enjoying working together. Okay. Anything else from you guys? I know there's a lot of questions in here that I didn't get to, but hopefully you have a bunch.
I just want to know if you guys are enjoying the lives with Steve.
Are you adding lives on Instagram to the Ask the Pack Leader show? Not sure what she means by that. Does she means this?
What's that mean?
She said, are you adding lives on Instagram to the Ask the Pack Leader show? So this will be on the Ask the Pack Leader show for the lives people here for the next episode.
Yeah.
Ask the Pack Leader show. And we do have...
They are separate at this point, yes.
Yeah, separate.
Yeah, they're separate, but we feature this live on our release date Wednesday for the podcast.
Yeah, I'll do... Okay, so there's times where sometimes I just like, you know what, I'm going to do something cool with Nico. I'm just going to throw the live on. Right. Just like do it live so people can see and see what I'm doing like in the moment. Also to see that I'm not full of shit, that I'm actually like can do it live and I don't have to edit fucking everything. Like... I want you guys to actually see it, like see. And if Nico makes a mistake, I'm like, yes, I can show them like a mistake that this idiot's making. So now I can show you guys what to do with these. He's not an idiot, by the way. That's just my New Jersey talking. But like to see
Nico?
What this guy is doing.
Nico being an idiot.
Yeah. We talk shit. He's like one of my. Yeah. He's the boy. One of the guys. So we talk a little shit. Kelsey says she loves the live shows. I had a feeling like that people would want this a little bit more of like a little bit more like, hey, cool, Steve. We don't really give a fuck about what you're doing out there. We just want to know. We want your information about dogs.
Yeah,
I get it. Yeah. I like when I go on certain things. I go and I want to know what the hell happened. So, yeah, that's what I agree. So I'm gonna do more of these in this kind of thing, just because this is good to get the actual. The questions like live coming in. I could just answer them boom, 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 one after another. What do you guys think about having people call in potentially? I don't know if that would like be a big thing or a video call in and stuff like that. We could end up doing some stuff with that.
Can you just address what you put out there for a contest recently?
Oh yeah. Why are they in here? The people?
Maybe they are. Maybe they'll watch this later. But we do want to have
them.
Well, no, we do want to have people video call on here very soon. So
okay, so I put in the thing. Let's see if I still have it. I put in here in the stories I said, do you guys know what this is? Whoever will get 15 minutes on. So believe it or not, by the way, I posted last night some good ones. I was like just on Instagram. I was like, oh, I love them. I gotta share this with everybody. I love that stuff. I don't know where it is, to be honest. Let me see if I can find it in my pictures here. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to find it. Yeah, right here. I posted this thing.
Yep, I see it on both.
So I said, what is this thing? Does anyone know who it is? Here, let's see if anyone knows what it is right now. I'm going to leave it again so you guys can see.
If you guys can.
So if you know what it is, I said, if you guys know what this character's name is, who made it, and you're following the Maddie Ranch, I'll do 15 minutes with you of a video call during one of our Ask the Pack Leader shows. Okay? And 2 people got it right out of all the people who responded, and both are 2 of my clients.
That we know of. Yeah.
So I have to either see if they want to come do a live, but maybe I'll come do another, I can do another contest or something to see if people can come on. Someone's getting there a little bit.
Yeah.
Someone's getting there. Yeah, it's another one. But what's the character name? Nope, it's not Maddie. I got it because of Maddie, of course.
Yeah, I just I'm on the Maddie Ranch page right now.
Yeah. But maybe I'll post it again today. So for you guys who are in it, you can do a little research on that. There's some hints right there. There's 2 hints right before not Maddie.
Yeah.
That's not off of a hint, and I don't know what the fuck else you guys need. But yeah, so if you guys know what it is, then we can figure that out and get you guys on here. But I'm going to do that too. I'm going to bring some people on, and we'll do some, what do you call it? Some live, like a live video call kind of thing with them, with whatever questions they are.
So you're going to be traveling soon. I'm just going to put this out there.
Oh yeah.
I want to put this out there. I think that while you're traveling, I might do a virtual podcast with you.
That'd be cool
if you're down.
The other thing too is, all right, so guys, I'm going to be traveling for about 2.5 weeks. And I'm going to be away by myself for 2.5 weeks. And I'm going to be doing a bunch of video calls. So I'm probably going to do like 2 a day. They're about, I do them as an hour, but a lot of times they go a little bit over, but I enjoy it too much. But yeah, you can, I'm going to do video calls. So if you guys are interested in doing a video call with me while I'm away, I'll put the link in here so you guys can see it. I know that's always one. The people are like, how do I contact? And
damn, bro, these people know you. They're like, are you coming to the UK?
Yeah, no. And / contacts. This is the form if you guys want to sign up for video call. Right there. I just put it as a pinned comment. So if you do that one, that's for everything, by the way. If you want to do training with us, board and train, you want to do puppy stuff with us, puppy enrichments, puppy program, you want to do camp, you want to do whatever, boarding, all that shit, and video call, that's the link to do it. There's a form there, you'll fill it out, and then the office will get back to you. But yeah, I'm going to be doing a bunch of video calls because I can't do shit. So I'm going to do a bunch of lives. I'm going to do a bunch of video calls. I'm going to line up some guests. I'm going to do a lot of shit out there. You're going to see, like, I'll be in straight media mode because I'll be away.
Yeah.
I'll be out of the fucking country, so
yeah,
it's going to be really good.
Stoked for that one.
Yep.
Well, I want you to get back to your daily schedule.
This is great. This is great. I really enjoy doing these, like, straight, like, just hammering them out because I feel like people get a lot of value with, like, the just these kind of questions of just answering them as they go. Things like Jake whining, why that happens, what do we do with that? When Nico whine, how do we deal with that? Why is it happening? What's this? Yeah, it's like, to me, I love it. I love this stuff of there's so many times where I want to get on, but then I always get pulled. It's like I'll be like, all right, I'm going to go do a live with them in my mind. And I walk outside and all of a sudden here goes like Jamie, who's like, hey, I have 42 questions for you about this. Okay. And then I miss my window to do it. So Duval says, thanks, Steve. Safe travels. Thank you, Kelsey. Duval9. Sorry if you answered this already. I got disconnected. Any plans for an adventure camp pickup in Manhattan? Yes, 100%. It's coming. Right now, let's just put it this way. I underestimated the demand for the camp services here, and we're getting pretty damn full already. So I'm already in the process of trying to acquire 2 more vans, believe it or not. We have one. It's full. And now I'm trying to get 2 more. It's not as easy to get upfitted vans. Sprinter. First of all, getting Sprinter vans right now from Mercedes is really challenging. And then getting them upfitted with custom kennels and all the shit that we need in them. This is a whole fucking production with that stuff too. So taking some time to do that, but bear with us. We're playing the long game, and I promise we'll have an amazing place for you guys to send a shitload of dogs to. Because the people in Manhattan need it the most. I mean, in the city environment needs nature the most. It needs the dogs to get out and experience green and fresh air and animals and flowers and things blooming and the sun and the sky. You know, it's just the difference between, like today I had to pick up my father from the city. He had some medical thing he had to do, and then I was in the city with my windows down. I was like, fuck, I got to put this back up. It's like, even on a beautiful day like it is today, what is it today? Like,
it's stuffy out there, huh?
But it's just like 75 or whatever today, 73. But then I'm in the city, and it's like, I'm like, oh, this is disgusting. And I come up to this thing, I open the window. Oh my God, I love it up here. Just the breathing, the air is so much different. Air quality is so good. It's so much different.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the biggest thing I noticed. UK. Yes, thank you for your time. Appreciate it. It's awesome. Thank you for that. Thank you for tuning in. Jasmine, thanks for tuning in. Carly, Emmy, Duval, all you guys. Kelsey, RA, GSPS, Balance Canines, Married, I don't know, something.
Thank you guys for joining. If you wanted to end the live too, we can just wrap this podcast.
I don't want to end it though. This is what happened, by the way, for my live people who do my who come on like randomly when I just pump a live. Like I always say, quick random live here, and then I hit the fucking limit every time.
Never quick.
I literally hit the limit. So I'm gonna keep sharing this stuff because like I had a client ask me recently. I don't think you were there for this actually. They said, "Why do you give away so much for free?"
Oh, word?
She actually asked, "Why do you give away?" And I explained it to her, and I'll explain it to you guys. Because this is bigger than a business, by the way. You know, I feel like I was put on this planet and was all these life events happened with me to understand this dog thing, and it needed to be someone like me who had been through the fucking ringer of life, who had been able to who can figure out how to navigate this world to get people to understand this species. Because all I want to do is leave a legacy of that we helped a shitload of dogs and help people get better on our time on this planet. And we went for it and lived life to the fullest. So my biggest fear in life, so you guys understand, is regret. That's my biggest fear. And my fear is laying on a deathbed or being at the end of my life and looking back and saying, if I would have just tried that thing, if I would have just went for it, if I would have just done this thing, if I would have just experienced that one thing. So I'd rather go for it with this ranch and go for it with the dogs and see, because I'm a very competitive person and I like to challenge myself. So I want to see what I can do if I unleash my full potential on the world and I all systems go towards helping humans, helping dogs, helping people see animals, and showing people that they can actually, have an idea and take it to fruition, if they believe in it enough to be able to actually say, you know what, maybe I can fucking do this. Because you guys all can do this shit, by the way. I promise you that I am nothing special, that I wasn't born with some special fucking thing that allows me to understand dogs better or I'm better at business. I wasn't born with business knowledge. I wasn't born with dog psychology knowledge, right? I was born with instincts. We all are. You all have them. And none of us were born with all this fear and all this crap, It gets brought on to us in childhood, whether that's parents, friends, siblings, whatever. We get all this crap dumped on us, and then we create all these fucking limiting beliefs that we can't do anything in life. It's all bullshit. You can definitely do so many things that you don't believe you can. For instance, this is one of my favorite lines, and I'll end it kind of on this a little bit, is they go, I could never, and then whatever the thing is, I could never not pet him. I could never not have the dog in the bed. I could never tell him no, whatever the hell the thing is, right? And I go, okay, what if I kidnapped your husband and I said you'll never see him again, and I'm gonna kill this guy in 2 weeks unless you actually get this dog out of your bed? Would you do it? Sometimes they say no, still no. Yeah. But for the people who actually give a shit about their husbands, they were like, oh well, with that I would do it. I go, so you can do it. So why are you saying you can't? It's a limiting belief. You're selling yourself before even trying, right? And because your thoughts that were created in your mind by some bullshit from somewhere else are now and your past experiences are telling you can't do this thing. Yeah, you can. You just don't believe you can. So The biggest person, we always want to blame all the people holding us down and this, and you see the victims and the poor me's and I can't do it. You're the fucking problem, not the other people, okay? Not everybody's, not the government, not your boss, not the parents, none of this. You're the problem. And once you figure that out and you realize that you have what you need you have the internet. I mean, you have the internet. Go online and start to learn some skills, learn some things, and you can absolutely do shit. Or else you can choose to live your fucking life powerless and say, I need everybody else to do shit for me. Or I can say, I'm going to live myself powerful and say it all comes back to me. I'm making myself accountable. I'm focusing on my awareness and I'm going to go for it in life. That's it. So you don't need shit. Okay. You need things, right? But you don't need all these things that you think you need in your mind to get there. Do
you want to share with them which one?
And by the way, go fail at like 7 businesses and then make your 8th $1 billion business if you really want. Go look. Walmart guy started in the 60s or some shit. Started Walmart. It's like the people are doing all this kind of stuff. It's when you look around to the other people who are doing stuff. Look, I love the line, success leaves clues. Who are you listening to? Who's telling you can't do? That's the other thing is who else in your life is telling you can't do shit around you? Who's giving you advice? I wouldn't start that business coming from like a 70-year-old who's got like no money and did nothing in their life. Well, from your opinion, I don't really give a shit what you think, Or you really are going to go do that? Well, funny enough, I guess you wouldn't do that either, wouldn't you? And going by your history person, it doesn't seem, I'm not looking at Adam, by the way. I'm looking at some random fake person over there.
Look at me.
Debbie Downer. That's what I'm looking at. Yeah. Fucking limiting belief, Lisa over there.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, you can fucking do it. Trust me. Your biggest job, one of your biggest jobs in life is destroying limiting beliefs. Destroy that shit. Get it out of there.
Yeah, for our 30 people that are still here with us, do you want to give them a clue as to which friend recently told us that they want to do a live with us? Do you remember?
No.
Oh, shit. It's okay. We'll just let it go.
Someone said they want to do a live with us?
Yeah, it was your most important friend. One of your most important friends.
Oh, Caesar. Yeah. Caesar. I was talking to Caesar over the weekend. Yeah. So I'm going to be scheduling a live with Caesar. New TV show coming out. I'm going to be doing a live with Caesar. We'll do like an hour Q&A. And we'll just hammer out questions and just get you guys limiting belief, Lisa. Yeah. Just hammer out questions. And he wants to talk about the show and what the premise is and what the next steps of the mission are. So he said, just so you guys know, the people who have stayed here the longest, he said to me, I want to do a live with your pack.
Nice.
Which I told him, I said, which is, by the way, your pack as well. So we're all part of the same thing. Maybe we have subset packs around, but we're all part of the big fucking pack, which is changing the world to a better place for both animals, humans, dogs, obviously, right? And being able to leave a legacy here that we actually did something here. So I believe this community is going to do it. I know we can do it. There's nothing that's stopping us. So aside from your limiting beliefs, but I'm here to fucking destroy them when you're ready. Love you guys. All right, we're going to get out. Thank you guys for watching. I didn't spend enough time staring at the podcast camera. I was kind of looking this way.
The value's still there, brother.
Okay, so hopefully you guys really got a lot out of this. And we're going to keep them coming, one after another. Keep them coming. Love you guys. Stay calm and confident. We have all these questions saved, I hope, because I'm going to answer them all. We'll see you guys soon. Love you guys. Later. Okay, that's done. Hold on. I'm finishing this part now.
Thank you guys for joining.
What is it? A new dog?
Yeah, Frenchie.
Okay, I gotta go see this new Frenchie. Okay. So we just finished up the Instagram here, guys, and I'm gonna go deal with the new Frenchie that just came in for our puppy enrichment program. Just dropped off for 4 weeks with us, which is so awesome.
That is
I
awesome.
recommend anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks for them to come in the beginning, and the dog's coming now for 4 weeks, and it's gonna live its life in an amazing way to start off with the pack here at the Matty Ranch. No better way to start off life for a dog. So I'm gonna go work with this dog now.
Dang, that's
So
a
I'll
cool
say it yet
dog.
again. Yeah, I'll say it yet again. Stay calm and confident, and we will see you guys soon. Love you guys.
Love you guys.
Later.
Later.